As with everything.
Our farm is called Milpa Organica. It's in Escondido. We've been farming for about 7 years. When we got there, the soil was really rock hard, and so we make good food by making good soil, and that means adding amendments like compost. So after about 7 years that we've been doing this, the soil now looks like rich, dark chocolate cake. And to have good food, you need to have good soil. So the other thing that we do is we don't use any poisons or synthetic fertilizers. And that means that there will be no poisons in the food. So you can see that the food is fresh and vibrant and has life energy coursing through it. And so when you consume the food, you're consuming that life energy. And not only that, but the roots themselves of the plants take up minerals out of the soil. So we try to add those minerals into the soil, and those minerals are the same things that will make up your body. So what has happened is that we've been operating informally, as farmers have done since agriculture started, but the regulatory agencies are trying to force us into legal compliance, and the cost of coming into compliance is too high to be able to stay in business, and so we are throwing in the towel, and we'll be moving somewhere where the regulations aren't as strict.
Okay, we're here with the farmer's wife, Leslie, and Leslie, can you tell us what happened with the farm?
You know, Milpa Organica is closing its doors. There are a lot of reasons that have added up to make the closing necessary. And really what I'd like to speak to today is the fact that small farms are a community, they're a business, they provide food for other people, and they're a lot more complex than a straight business. So what's happening, because people now are very concerned about food security, about eating good food, is that the closure of a small farm that provides those things for a local community is really a shame.
How do you think that this tragedy could have been avoided? How could they have made the laws in a different way that wouldn't put small farms like this that were doing no harm and doing a lot of good?
Maybe it could have been classified as an experimental, agricultural experiment, perhaps. And there might be some waiver of labor laws and various business laws to help encourage and cultivate something as special and magical as this place is. But as I said, I think the tragedy is that it seems that the laws which were put in place to help people and protect people and do good in the world, ultimately caused the end of something as great as this farm.
Thank you.
I am grateful to the universe. Can you hear me, everybody? Yeah! I'm grateful to the universe, to this piece of land we call La Milpa Organica Farm, to the soil, bacteria, mycelium, and worms, to the water, to the owls and the rattlesnakes, to the seed and flowers and trees, to the wisdom of my teachers and the spirits of ancestors, and to all of you for supporting me during our 7 years here. Let us all celebrate, enjoy, in sadness, the garden that grew here. The world as I learned it from my grandmother and father is gone. Much that has been forgotten that should have not been forgotten. Some would critique my evoking my grandmother as romanticizing the past. I acknowledge that the 19th century America she was born into included Jim Crow and ongoing indigenous genocide and the disenfranchisement of women. Perhaps what I am mourning is simply clean water and good soil, undammed salmon rivers, and the California grizzly. A world not addicted to television, Roundup, and ExxonMobil. I am not a conventional person. The very idea of La Milpa Organica suggests a way of being with the world is an ideal and it's been lost. But it's worth reinventing. We are about reinventing the world. We are idealists, we are creative anarchists, we are organic farmers. What we created here would not have been possible within the schema of conventionality. Visioning and implementing La Milpa was an opportunity to actualize a way of being that is in alignment with the principles of Milpa agriculture. My creative process took place largely outside of the box of the system, the hologram, the matrix. Our culture looks increasingly like a system of control. In order to realize this story, it was necessary for us to create outside the system of control. For years, we were able to maintain this farm as an island separate from the freeway that leads away from our gate. Eventually, the nature of our experiment leaked out, and agents of the system showed up to place us under its control. And I want to apologize to you for abandoning these fields. I am not clever enough to simultaneously inhabit the natural world of a living organic system and its antithesis, the modern state, with the bizarre and unnatural conditions it dictates. Unfortunately, growing food and living as free people is not compatible with the ill-considered and unjust mandates, rules, laws, and regulations that are imposed upon us. The penalties have been disproportionate and devastating. Our world is in transition from what was to what will be. I am talking about social, cultural, educational, health, political, legal, financial, ecological, etc. Where is the public conversation and debate that includes the input of citizens about the challenges of our time? Where is the conversation about our dreams for how society will be organized in the future and what steps we need to take to arrive there? What is the purpose of our democracy? Who should decide how we live? Our society needs experiments. We need places where we can freely explore these questions and build new models for a rapidly changing world. Freedom is a word that has been accorded great reverence in the lexicon of this thing we call America. I believe that we need more of it. Organic cropland is just 0.7% of agricultural production in America. This is only a tiny dust mote on the field of American agriculture. Am I really such a threat? People are asking me, what can I do? And the answer to that question is embedded in another question. Where should our food come from, and who should control who grows it? The current answer seems to be China and Monsanto. When you develop a fierce and unwavering commitment to the control of your food system, then farms like La Milpa will be the norm and well supported by public policy and not crushed as criminal enterprises. Thank you.